Hi everyone, welcome to a big altcoin Bible here on a Wednesday. Big things are afoot in the United States. It does feel like markets are being held hostage to a degree based on the US debt ceiling and that partisan conflict that is brewing within politics. I think it gets resolved in the end, as it always does. Otherwise, US defaults, I think that is just super unlikely. They will come to a resolution. Otherwise, the consequences are dire. But regardless, the risk markets like crypto, like stocks, again, they're all being held hostage, a bit on edge. Stocks are trying to grind higher. Crypto's trying to grind higher as well. But again, we're in this sort of strange mode where we're seeing this no man's land and also just impulses up to, just to give the bears and bulls a bit of hope on either side, but no decisive move either way. So there are opportunities in altcoins, which we're watching very closely, and some patterns developing, which I want to show you today. I'm going to crack straight into my first crypto, and that's my danger zone, and that is Optimism. So this is a layer two, very popular. There's a few others, Arbitrum, Optimism, Mateus, a couple of others, but Optimism has had some really strong positive price action a little bit earlier in the year, but since then it's been consolidating into this, you can say pennant, wedge, triangle, whatever you like to call it, and it had broken down from that. You can see it losing all these key moving averages, broke out of the pattern, and these higher lows, low, and then bang, blitzed through here, broke these moving averages, and then just fell through the floor. I think we had it as a danger zone not long ago, in somewhere in this area here, that it looked like it was going to cruise down to maybe the 200, and it has. So that is really interesting. You'd really want to see, and this is on the daily, you really want to see the 200, this red line here, 200 day moving average. So this is the line that represents the average price of 200 of these green and red candles. So that's this line here normally, and you'd hope it actually finds support there. It tried to do it there on this first candle, and then this next candle just blitzed it really convincingly. This is really terrifying for me. Well, not terrifying. If you're seeing the opportunity, you can go out and short it. But if you're an investor, this just means you need to look lower. Right now, this doesn't look convincing at all. We've come back and had the very serious retest, underside retest, now resistance of the 21, that's the blue line, and also the red line. You can see it there very clearly. It's also a retest of this level here, and maybe I will do this here so you can just see what I'm talking about. So you can see here, this was the low. We tried to reconfirm it on that moving average, drop below it, resistance, now drop below it, resistance. So now we're making lower highs too. So this tells me that I think the market really wants lower here. You can even start to draw a, bearish pennant just starting to develop there. That's probably a bit crude. Maybe I could do it a little bit better there, but this to me looks like it wants to drop down, similar to this action here. Where might it go? For mine, I think this area down here, around this in there, just because this is the previous area of lots of wicks and resistances. So we should see, like a move down just to retest this previous ceiling. So potentially just into this area here, $1.30, $1.40, that sort of area in there. But when that sort of happens, we're starting to see the RSI actually diverge a little bit here, where it, the bulls are gaining strength while the market is starting to lean lower. That's the only thing that maybe concerns me for lower, or that we may get a wick, but then it may get bought up pretty quick. So if you have orders as opportunity down in this area here, where these previous wicks are, all through here, there, this area does look really nice to me. You probably bring out the Fibonacci retracement too, just to maybe align some. Oh yeah, that's perfect. 0.786, perfectly on that line where that is. So that is the perfect area to buy, in my view. $1.4 per Optimism token. Then when you really have to start looking on the way up where to take those profit levels, but it's going to find resistance again into that moving average. But right now, if we're just looking at the immediate price action, that for me is a very clear drop zone that it should fall into. Okay, cherry up for this week. Look, should be no surprise to anyone. Litecoin, LTC, if I can get it out, has been a phenomenal performer of late, and that's because it's got its block reward halving coming in August. And generally, this cryptocurrency runs the year before the Bitcoin reward halving as well. So everything's lining up. Had this really nice 22% run off the low here. Now it's compressing. So you could argue that this looks a little bit like Optimism, how it's compressing. However, Litecoin still has its, I guess, fundamental pull coming in the future in the next few months. And also Optimism, I'll add in there as well, had a mainnet upgrade that's coming in early June. So I think we've had a bit of a buy the rumor, sell the news there. Also a supply increase for Optimism. So Litecoin doesn't have that same issue. It's got a cap supply. again, it's the supply halving. The market is going to be halved in August. So things are aligning here. I do think Litecoin has another impulse up to 100, and it may be even higher. We just have to really wait and see. But so far, so good. This just looks like a move up, and now we're trying to consolidate at a key area, and that key area is 90 to 91. Also, you can throw 89 in there. So essentially everything on top of this 50 moving average, which is this orange line here. So came out at 89 there, hit, it got a bit lower, and maybe really made some bulls start to sweat down here, hit the bottom of this, I guess, pattern that I've been drawing, and I had to say it's triangles, pennants, you can call them whatever you like, but this for me is pretty obvious that this is a very well respected little range here. I think you stay above this 50 and you get above this 21, then I think Litecoin's about to break out. So this is a very interesting area of opportunity in my view. It could come down to the 200 here, but I want to see some serious weakness in Bitcoin. I want to see that roll over. What's it doing at the moment? So in 27,000, low 27,000s. I suspect, unless there's some seriously bad news or the debt ceiling gets resolved, which I think is a bearish event anyway, if that gets resolved really soon, liquidity will be moved from the market. You might get these lower prices, something like a quick dip and then something like that. But so far, it looks like Litecoin is preparing for this next move up higher. But yes, the 200 here into this drop zone would be very interesting. It's only 87, so at 91, it's really not much of a drop. If you're looking at these buys, and so maybe 4 or 5%, that kind of area there. But the relative strength shown by Litecoin is pretty sensational. Also, I'm noting bullish divergence pretty much across the board, going through some time frames here. You can see here the momentum is getting lower and lower and lower. So sellers are getting in control while price action's moving higher. Which again, the price action's moving higher is a great sign when this is happening as well, because it essentially means that the sellers are exhausting themselves. All these momentum indicators are reloading. Look down here on the 4-hour stock RSI looks about to cross over, and we're on top of these moving averages in here. I think this is a platform for Litecoin to move higher, and I think it's starting to look really good. Could be wrong, but that's my read on it. And after that, I really think this looks like about the double the size of this pattern here. I think about 100 is a really good area to start to take risk off. And it is crucial because we can see here it's moved into this 100, 103 area. And I believe it is the 200, some kind of moving average on the daily. Am I wrong on that? Yeah, maybe I'm wrong on that. But here you can just, maybe it's the weekly. There we go. Yeah, on the weekly chart, the 200 week, and you can see on Binance, doesn't actually go back very far. But here is the 200 week. This is just enormous resistance support, which Litecoin wants to get above, and that's at 100. So that's why we keep running into it. This is just sitting here. Look at these wicks. Broke through it there. Over here, resistance. So now we're moving up here, and once Litecoin, if it blitzes up through here, hits that 100, I expect it to come back, retest this, and then move high. If it's in the mood to continue to run high into the halving, we have seen that historically. So again, I think Litecoin is absolutely one to watch. RSI ticking up, stock RSI bottom. It looks really, really nice for continuation. That's my view. All right, let's move on to Ethereum. So this is one to watch. I thought Ethereum looked really rubbish in here, how it got sold off, essentially fully retraced, had this second pulse up, this lower high, didn't look very good. Then we had the final drop off, which was really great. Again, I don't know if that's the final drop off. That's probably poor choice of words, but we had this nice gut punch a little bit lower into liquidity, essentially bought up straight away, and it's using the 100-day moving average as its support, same as Bitcoin. That is really important for me. You can see down here when it had this ran into resistance in this 1720 and this green line, eventually, like Bitcoin, had a big gut punch after it lost the 20 and the 50, and then motored all the way back down to the 100 and the 200, exactly the same as Bitcoin there. Now, you could argue we're coming back down to the 200 here. I don't think that's a bridge too far, honestly, because it has to crack through some serious support levels before there. Can absolutely do that. But Ethereum has just been, it hasn't really shown too much downside potential. The relative strength has been really strong as well. So that's what you want to look for, relative strength in the storm. Has lost that 21 and 50, but very easily you can see here that is using the 100 as this platform, now grinding highs, got above this like liquidity zone in here. You see wick, support and resistance very, very clearly all through this green box. And we'll zoom in a little bit more so you can see. And now it's blasted back above the 21. That for me is a pretty good signal. I think it's going to the 50 pretty soon. 1880. And then we really have to see how it ends up from there. But I think Ethereum is on a one-way journey to 2000 again. It's just a matter of time. Stock RSI looking a little bit hot. That's okay. And the RSI is starting to tick up. But Ethereum has just been of late a grinder. It really hasn't been a strong runner unless there's a sharding coming up or an upgrade. But for mine, it could easily just grind sideways, wait for Bitcoin to make its move, above 30,000, and then it really starts to move above 2,000 again. But I think it's definitely on the cards, showing some good signs. All right, guys, hope you've enjoyed this altcoin Bible. As always, I have a blast. Any questions or comments, please reach out. Have a great day. Bye.